In this video, we're going to work on the typing feature. So let's get it started. Now, the very first thing that we have to do is to start working on this, and we have an element here, somewhere around here. Yep, form group, and here it is, the typing on. This is the div ID that we will gonna trigger for showing the type, who is typing in, and what's the name of the user. So let's get started. The very first thing, obviously, start from the custom.js, and if I will gonna go up maybe somewhere here. Okay, so here we will gonna do a couple of things like create a variables for text area, and as you know, our text area field is MSG message. Now I can copy, paste it, and typing, hold on, I just missed the P, typing status we're gonna say, and it would be the typing typing on the ID that I just showed you, and var another one, last typed time. It will not gonna make sense probably, but just stick with me and things will start making sense to you. What it is doing, it is just taking a current time, storing in the variable, typing delay milliseconds, and it would be 4000. These are our variables. Now we're gonna have to write a couple of functions, and let's start with the function name refresh typing status. This is one of the function, and what this function will do, it will gonna check if the text area that we have dot error, it's error attribute in short, this disabled, which means if it is not disabled, and text area dot is focus. If these two conditions match, then it will again go ahead and check text area dot, well, if it is not empty, or new date, the date object in JavaScript, get time, and we're gonna minus that get time with last typed time dot get time. So it will gonna minus if the minus value is greater than typing delay millisecond, then we will go ahead and say there is no typing, like user is not typing, else user is typing. In order to make it work, we will gonna create one function, set typing. So if 0, which means not typing, if 1, which means typing. In a moment we will gonna create this function. Or right now we're gonna have to create another function here, function, and we're gonna name it update last type time, and all it will do is to take our created variable last type time and update it with the new date. In the very bottom, I will scroll all the way down, and here we're gonna create var set typing is equals to function, and it will gonna take one variable, and now it will gonna do like same thing which we have been doing, getting a chat ID, and you know how we can get the chat ID. The chat ID field enter id var tk token, again using the same element which have our token, dot find, and again we will gonna find input name is equals to token, everything is same, dot val, which is value. That's it. And now we will gonna check if condition, if cid if not equals to null and c underscore id not equals to empty, and then dollar msg, which is the new condition that we start using from last video, enter disabled, which means if it is not disabled, then only then send the Ajax request. And we already have an Ajax request here, so we will just gonna copy from here, paste it here to save our time, and the URL, the route would be set active. Condition should be, in short, con would be con, like whether 0 or 1, true or false. In other words, I'm gonna have to copy it, paste it here, and set active. We can say set active here, save it, head to our active chat. We can copy this, go at the very bottom. Here we can say set active, and here we would gonna first thing get the ID of our logged in user, auth user ID. The second thing is to get the chat, the active chat record that we already have, if any, active chat, where user ID is equals to cu current user, and just get the first record if chk is not empty, then chk typing is equals to request con. So it will update the typing to 1 or 0 as our column is boolean, and it will gonna save. This is what I will do. Now if that part done, we will gonna create another condition empty, and we're gonna say chk. If it is not empty, then we can go ahead and send a resp status is equals to 1, else we can send the response as 0, and then return JSON encode RESP. That's it. Go back to our custom.js here, and we do not need to do anything for that as well. It will gonna update the typing. So let's see, in our jet system, our jet ID is 7 is activated and typing is 0. So if I select this, it should be updated to 5. Yep, it is 5 now. So okay, nothing is happening because we haven't yet triggered this function, set timing. As you can see, we have like all the basic functions that we need, but we haven't yet triggered any of these functions, right? Like this is the main function, refresh typing status, but it is not triggering anywhere. We are not calling it now. So this is the time we should start now calling it. And to start calling it, we have to set the time interval. It's a function in JavaScript, set interval, and it is pretty much like set timeout. We just have to give it the name of the function and give it a number, so 2000, and then we're gonna say our text area, the field where we write message, key press. We are binding a event, and we are passing this function over here to this key binding. Now another thing we have to attach with the same field, and this time it would be blur. And blur, we would have function, anonymous function in it, and then we were gonna say set typing 0. So if we save here, I just noticed typing the wrong, and it's a date. And if I refresh again, John, and if I try to type, yep, it is setting perfectly, and you can see it is saying status 1, which means typing should be 1, but as we lost the typing, it just remove it as 1. So let me try like another time, and if I am typing and just update it, typing, okay, it's very hard to catch. There's one thing I can do to make it show you that it is typing or what. Let's say con. Okay, so con would be request.con. This way you could see like what is the update, right? So if I refresh again, you would be able to see like what condition we are at. If I select John, okay, and set active, condition is 0 because we were not typing. Condition 0, great, let's start typing. Condition 1, all of a sudden condition 0, and we have a stop. So it is not going to do the interval again and again, because that's how the program should be. Otherwise it will gonna keep sending a request and your server will down. So for the sake of simplicity and proper programming, you're gonna have to work in a way that it only send the request when it is needed. So we are only gonna send the request only and only when it is active, when someone is typing, and the time is the same time. So if I again, you see, if as soon as I start, the interval will start as well. So that's the pretty much perfect thing that we needed, and we have achieved that, and it is perfectly working. So the next part is that we will gonna come back and we will gonna build the functionality. So here it will gonna show us that who is typing and what's the name of the person. So take care for now, bye bye.